afternoon. I am just jumping on today live because I wanted to rectify a problem that we had last Friday night with my Facebook Live catalogue launch. So a couple of people have messaged me to let me know that the last part of the video was actually chopped off. Oh, thanks, Linda. Thank you. It's been a nice day so far. Yeah, I'm going out for a walk later too, so I'm really looking forward to that. The weather has just been, I couldn't have asked for better weather for my birthday. Wollongong weather is just amazing right now. So yeah, definitely getting out for a walk a little bit later on. So look, I wanted to just jump on and first of all let you guys know that I'm aware that there was a problem at the end of my live, and I am here to announce the last 3 questions of my quiz for you guys to answer over the next week. So it'll still be ending on Friday, but there are 3 more questions that my quiz had tacked on the end that you guys would have missed out on. So hopefully I am all good and everyone is able to hear either the live or the replay. I know it's a bit of a weird time that I'm coming on, but that's okay. I've also got a little card to share with you today, inspired by the Sun Prints paper. So yeah, as I'm announcing those last 3 questions, I'm going to be demonstrating. So this is what my inspiration was just before I get going with my stamping today. My inspiration was this designer series paper, which is part of the Sun Prints suite. And I absolutely love the fact that it's got some lighter images, but if you have a look really closely, you'll see some darker, more shadowy images. And I thought, how can I replicate that in a stamping technique? And my mind immediately went to Emboss Resist as my technique, the technique that I haven't actually done for a long time. So I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to replicate the idea of this lovely sort of layered effect with the images in the Sun Prints stamps, and I'm going to show you how I did it. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to announce the last 3 questions for you guys to answer. Now, don't forget my BOGO sale is happening right now. You can go in and reserve stamp sets and accessories that have already retired for free. When you place an order up to $200, you'll get up to $200 worth for free. So it's a great way to get some freebies, get some things from the new catalogue, and add to your crafting stash ×2 if you like. So you're double dipping at the moment, guys, whenever you place an order. And a couple of people have placed orders via phone and email over the last couple of days. So you will be eligible to pick from that. I'll remind you guys before the BOGO sale finishes off this Friday night, this coming Friday. So my first question, just before I get going with my technique, it's actually question number 7, which we missed out on. So number 7 is, what is the name of the new alphabet set and what punch does it coordinate with? There's a new alphabet set in the new catalogue. What punch does it coordinate with? It's a double question, so you need to write those 2 answers down the bottom of either this video or the last video that I've got on my Facebook business page. I've just used my old friend, the Embossing Buddy. I don't know if you guys are still using yours. I love my Embossing Buddy. You need to use it with this technique because you don't want any little specks of Versamark or of clear embossing powder to be where you don't want them to be. I'm using the lovely Big Fern stamp, and I've got my trusty old Versamark. I alternate between this one and my new one. If your Versamark looks like this, as long as it's nice and wet with Versamark ink, it's still going to work okay. So you guys don't have to stress. If you have a Versamark that looks like mine, it should still work okay. Sometimes you do need to get a new pad. And that's also okay if you're finding that it's not inking up properly or it's not actually, doing what it's meant to do. There's always the option of getting a new pad. I'm going to stamp this one 3 times in Versamark. Now you won't be able to see that on my white piece, but that's okay. You will be able to see it a little bit more readily when I've got my embossing powder on there. So what we're creating here is a clear embossed set of images, and these will, when I put the heat tool on them, when I dry it, when I melt the powder, sorry, they will actually create an image, and it's going to become more distinct when I add even more ink on the top. So I'm just making sure I get all of those images on there, and I'm popping that embossing powder back. So that's ready to go. I'm going to heat that now with my heat tool. And the other side. Hey, Ness! Okay, you just want to make sure all that powder has melted. I'm going to just give you this another squirt. It's looking pretty good. My overhead light has died actually, so I don't have as good lighting as I used to, but I think that's good. I might just give this another squirt here. Great to see you, Ness. I hope it's not dropping out. I told my kids to get off the internet, but anyway, that's okay. It may be your connection or it may be me, but hopefully you guys are getting most of this. So I've got, that's just done. Oh, I'm just going to give that another squirt. Yeah, I think the bulb has gone in my overhead light as well, so I need to get that fixed. All right, I'm going to come in again now with the solid fern stamp, which is a great one for this effect because it's really a silhouette, so it's kind of like doing a reverse silhouette effect. And I'm just going to fill in the blank spaces. There's a couple of blank spaces. I'm going to stamp this about 5 times, and I'm going to stamp it fairly randomly, and then I'm going to cover it all over again with the embossing powder. So I've got my clear embossing powder. You can use white embossing powder. It will give you a similar effect, but you just want to make sure that, that you melt it. Whatever powder you're using, you want to make sure you melt it really well. Now that I've got the powder on there, I can see there's a little corner here that's missed out. So I'm going to put a little bit of stamping in the corner just to kind of fill that corner in. We don't have our embossing trays anymore, but I just tend to funnel it straight back into my embossing powder bottle, like I've been doing. You can use a card base. All right, excuse the noise again. I'm just going to melt this again so that I've got those images all set. Alrighty, that looks good. Okay, so for the next part, I'm actually going to be using some classic ink, and I've grabbed my my blending brush, which I've been using with the Orchid Oasis stamp pad. So this is my new Orchid Oasis blending brush. I've actually washed it out. It was a blue. So yeah, you can wash these out, guys, if you want to change colors of your blending brushes. You can actually wash them out and then use them in a different color, especially if you're going from a darker to a lighter color. You'll want to get rid of that dark ink so that you can come in and yeah, and grab the lighter color. So this is the Orchid Oasis, which is one of our new ink colors. And what I'm going to do is just come on in each corner and just apply the ink in a swirly motion. And as I do, you will see all those beautiful images coming out of the page of the basic white cardstock. And it really is quite dramatic because we've used the clear embossing powder. That image is going to come out really strongly against the basic white, the basic white paper, cardstock, sorry. So can you see how that is just starting to, well, it's really quite dramatic, that look. Now, because I've used the darker of our new blues, what I can then come in with is the Starry Sky, which is slightly darker again, and I'll pop it in view there for you. I'm just going to switch my fern piece for this other stamp that's in there's lots and lots of stamps to choose from in this stamp set. So I'm going to come in with this stamp again, and using the Starry Sky, I'm going to fill in the blanks even more. So I've got a few blank spaces. I'm not going to worry too much if I do go over the top of my clear embossing, because there is a little technique that I'm going to share with you that gets rid of the excess ink. If you've got ink that is pooling over the top of some embossing, you can actually get rid of that by using a paper towel or a tissue. I'm just filling in the blanks here. So it's looking pretty good. And then I'm going to come in with my piece of paper towel that I've used. How's the reception now, Ness? Can you see and hear me in real time again? So I'm just polishing this a little bit so that I'm getting rid of the excess ink that may have been sitting on the top of that shiny embossing. And if I hold it up, you will see that now appears as though those darker elements are behind the ones that I've pre-stamped and pre-embossed. So you get that, I guess it's a little bit of a trick of the eye, because you've wiped off the ink, the classic ink, to reveal the embossing that you've done previously. And that to me really does remind me of, let me just grab my bit of paper again. So can you see how that reminds me of the paper that's using Night of Navy is the background in this one, but can you see the elements, the shadow elements behind? And then in the foreground you've got the lighter ones. So it kind of looks like you've come in with your dark Night of Navy over the top of some clear embossing. I just love it. All right, so what I'm going to do with the edge of this is I'm going to distress it a little bit using just the outside blade of my scissors. And I'm just going to go around, just giving it a little bit of a rough edge, which kind of goes with the whole style of this. It's sort of a little bit rough around the edges, definitely a bit of an arty feel. Thanks, Linda. Yeah, this paper is probably my favorite out of all of the papers in the whole catalogue, the whole new catalogue. It's just gorgeous. And you can get it in different colours too. If you look in the back of the catalogue, those of you who have your paper copies, you will see it comes in other colours, this actual print. You can get it, the Sun Prints design in, I think it's a purple and a pink, pale pink, petal pink, and a green, I believe. So you can use different colourways, and of course, if you're making your own, you could use different inks as well. Thanks, Wendy. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. So would you guys like to see the finished card? I actually put this as my background in the card, so it is definitely something that you could use like you use your designer series paper in the same way. So my card is this one. I've actually used some Orchid Oasis cardstock as my base, and I've just stuck that straight down. Let me just give you a close-up here. I have used the smaller stamp, which is a little flower. It looks like a little marigold or something. You could use any colour, but I've obviously punched it out of some more of the Sunprints paper, just the plain one. And I've punched it out using the matching die. There is a matching die that's part of the set. I can't pick it up, but yeah, it's the same shape as your little flower. So I've die cut that, and I've come in with some white Whisper White ink, just really lightly given it some highlights using a blender pen. So you can go over the top of either cardstock or your designer series paper just to give it a little bit of a highlight there. And that's popped up with a few dimensionals. Now my greeting is from the stamp set as well. There's some really lovely greetings in this. And don't forget, you can get this as a bundle together with the matching dies. So you can cut out all of the different designs here and use them as elements on your cards and your pages. But my ribbon is also a little bit altered. It's a bit of a signature thing for me. I love altering ribbons. So what I've done is I've frayed the grey granite ribbon. Look at my fingers. You can tell what colour ink I've been playing with. But if you have a look at that ribbon, I've just frayed some and left the frayed edge there. So all you can see is that frayed edge, and it gives it a little bit more of a shimmer. I finished it off too with some of the elegant faceted gems, which are carried over from the last catalogue. I really like these. They're nice neutral colour, and you can see them just sparkling a little bit on the card there. They look like water droplets, the clear ones, when you apply them. All right, so I'm up to my number 8 question, now that I've shown you my card. Number 8 is, what is the name of the new Angel Policy stamp set? You need to tell me the name of the new Angel Policy stamp set. That's question number 8. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this extra little card here. I have been playing with this suite a lot, and you'll probably see more cards made with it. When I get my next order, I'm going to show you, I'm going to open it online as well. So you guys will be able to see the new, some of the new designer series paper in real life. And I also remember ordering the Sunprints design paper that is in the different colors. So I'm going to show you what that looks like in real life, as well as the other things that I've used. Limited edition, is that what it's called, Wendy? Oh, yes, that's very good. That's the answer to number 8. Yes, very good. So what I'll be doing, guys, if you weren't with me on my original launch date, which was Friday, I'll be choosing at random from the correct answers to each question a prize winner for each of the questions. So I'm giving away 9 prizes in total. And the last question, are you ready? The last question is number 9. Name one new 10% off stamp and die bundle. There are a whole heap of new stamp and die bundles in the new catalogue. Can you name one of them? And write your answer down underneath. Thanks, Ness. Yeah, it's a great technique. Yeah, beautiful. You could use it with other stamp sets too, definitely. But this one I think is perfect. This stamp set is perfect for the embossed resist and the layered effect that you get by stamping over the top. Yeah, absolutely perfect for it. The images are just so gorgeous. I love the fact that you don't have to know how to draw. All you have to do is pick up a stamp and know a couple of techniques, and yeah, you can create some really, really cool things. Alrighty, so If you didn't catch me live, guys, make sure you listen to this. Well, you'll be listening to it right now if you're hearing me. Make sure you catch the replay. I'll be putting this up on my Demonstrator Facebook page. And good luck with your answers. And I'll be back another time with some more inspiration for you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.